Hi everyone, Paul here from LiftIQ, here to talk to you today about the technology behind LiftIQ and how it can help guide your training to your genetic strengths for faster results. Okay, if you're training for muscular development, there are two critical factors that we have not been able to measure to date, but they're the key to building muscle. At the moment, we're only looking at weights and reps, and generally people are confused. Do I use heavy weights, light weights, high reps, low reps? What best suits me? Now, if we look at weights and reps, that's really only part of the picture. Now, technology can bring in a couple more elements that are going to help you significantly in your training. If we look at, say, the options that you have, where this is your weight, your reps, time and attention, and intensity. So let's say, for instance, we choose a weight, we do a certain number of reps with that weight, our time and attention is moderate, our intensity might be reasonably high. Now the second time we attempt, let's say we try a higher weight, the reps are going to drop of course. Let's say we keep our time and attention the same, and you might find you get a bit more intensity, potentially. LiftIQ can monitor that. Let's say the third time we come along, we actually try a lighter weight, you're going to get higher reps. Let's say we try a higher time and attention, and you might get, say, a fairly high to moderate intensity. What LiftIQ does basically is assesses the trade-offs between each of these. So it might rate number 1 as here, number 2 as being here, and number 3 might have been here. And it's going to identify that as a better workout. So if we look at the process that's actually happening in the background for that, what we have is our muscle system. We have an input into that system and an output. Now what I mean by that, the input is what you attempt. So it might be the 3 sets, the 10 at 50, whatever your target is. The output is what you actually achieve. LiftIQ will look at what you are trying to do, it'll look at what you've actually achieved, it will then compute the value of that workout, compare it with what you've done in the past, and set a new target for you. The new target becomes your new input. You attempt that system, that becomes your output, which LiftIQ can monitor and watch. It gathers more data, it assesses that. Was that better or worse? Which way is this muscle system going? And it can gradually start to improve that target in line with your genetic strengths. Okay, so if we now look at the way that LiftIQ will bring all of these things together and have you training in a way to maximize your results by optimizing the working of all these elements within your muscle. You'd set your target normally, of course you know how many sets you're going to achieve. We're going to be working with a certain weight. And of course you have a certain rep target that you're trying to achieve. Now the other, as we mentioned, the two critical bits of information that we're typically missing, and we haven't been able to measure to date, is our time and attention for each rep, how much are we actually working, and then our intensity. So comes down to our rest period and how fast we are actually working or getting this complete amount of work compressed into a period of time. So we might, for instance, have, let's say it's 3 sets. We're working with a moderate weight. We're going to go fairly low TUT, maybe 2. Our rest periods might be, our reps might be relatively high, and our intensity might be quite high. So this is going to look something like this. This is our LiftIQ pentagon, which basically represents the effective load on the muscle of all these elements. Now, of course, you do the number of sets required. You're working with the weight that is specified. Let's say you don't quite achieve your time and attention and you miss out on a couple of reps, but your intensity is a bit higher. So in fact, your workout might look like that. There was the target. Here's what you've actually achieved. Now, LiftIQ will then compute the effective value of that and work out in that trade-off between time and attention and weights and reps and rest periods, was that actually better for you or not? If this workout is not as effective as your previous one, it's going to guide you back to where you best perform. If, however, by increasing your intensity, even if you've dropped some reps, it said, actually, that's a better workout for you, that'll go in your database, and next time it's going to adjust your targets towards that style of training. So LiftIQ effectively learns more about you every time you train, and it will guide you and keep learning more and more as it sets targets. You attempt the target and it will record your performance. And that basically is how technology now is able to assess your workouts completely, fully, and using LiftIQ go a step further to actually predict and guide you to where you're going to get the best results according to your genetic strengths. Thank you.